Welcome to your Zoho Books Quick Start. Look, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to get you up and running with all the essential functions you absolutely need to run your business smoothly. So here's our game plan. We'll start with your very first setup steps, then move to handling daily transactions. We'll even take a quick peek at some of the really powerful workflows that are going to save you a ton of time. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right in by setting up the absolute foundation of your account, your organization. Think of this as your digital workspace, and, getting it right from the very beginning is super important. So whether you run one business or, maybe a few, Zoho keeps everything tidy. It's so easy to create a new workspace, switch between companies, or just delete old ones you don't need anymore. It's all right there in one simple dashboard. Now, before you start plugging in any data, just hold on for a sec. There are two really important settings you're going to want to enable right away. This is what really unlocks the full power of Zoho for your business.
First up is inventory tracking. If you sell physical products, this is a total no-brainer. It's how you'll keep your stock levels spot on. And second, go ahead and enable additional charges. This lets you easily add things like shipping or handling fees right onto your invoices. Super useful.
Okay, settings are good to go. Now, let's build your financial structure. We're going to set up your chart of accounts, which basically acts as the digital filing cabinet for every single transaction your business makes. The term chart of accounts might sound a little intimidating, but it's really not. Just think of it as your financial command center. It's just a complete list of categories for every dollar that comes in or goes out. Getting this right gives you such a crystal clear picture of your business's health. Right from the chart of accounts dashboard, you can find any account you need, create a new one for, say, a specific expense or income stream, or just edit an existing one whenever you need to. It's all right there.
But what if you're not starting from scratch? You probably have a whole list of accounts from your old system, right? Well, the good news is you do not have to create them all one by one. Zoho walks you through this incredibly simple 3-step process. You just upload your file, match your column names to Zoho's fields, give it a quick look to make sure everything seems right, and then you import. Seriously, your whole chart of accounts can be in the system in just a couple of minutes. Just make sure your file is saved in one of these standard spreadsheet formats, Excel, CSV, or TSV, and you'll be good to go. So, with our financial accounts all set up, the next logical step is to bring in the lifeblood of your business, your customers, your vendors, and of course the items or services that you actually sell. One of the things I love about Zoho's design is just how consistent it is. Notice the logic here is exactly the same. Customers are under sales and vendors are under purchases. Once you learn how to do one, you pretty much know how to do the other. And hey, remember that awesome 3-step import process? Well, it's not just for your accounts. You can use that exact same process to upload your entire customer and vendor lists, which is a massive time saver. All right, the foundation is officially built. Now for the fun part. Let's start recording the day-to-day transactions that keep your business humming along. This is really where you're going to spend most of your time. Let's kick things off with a super common scenario. You've just gotten an invoice from one of your suppliers, and you need to get it in the system so you can pay it later. The paths for this stuff are so direct and easy to remember. To enter a bill you've got to pay, you go to purchases. To create an invoice for one of your customers, you go to sales. See? It's all logically laid out for you right in the sidebar. So, what about returns? This is where the terminology is really important. When you return something to a supplier, that's a vendor credit. It's credit they owe you. When a customer returns something to you, you issue a credit note because it's credit you owe them. Getting this straight is key to keeping your books accurate. Now, for other cash or bank entries, like, say, miscellaneous expenses or transfers, you've got a couple of options. You can use a traditional manual journal if you're comfortable with debits and credits, or you can use the more direct add transactions function right inside a specific bank account. Both work great. Once you get these basics down, you'll start to see that Zoho isn't just a bunch of separate functions. It connects everything into these really powerful workflows, especially when you bring in Zoho Inventory for the more complex stuff. This right here is the P2P, or procure to payment flow. It gives you a super clear 4-stage process to track everything you buy, from the second you create a purchase order all the way through to making that final payment. The visibility you get is just incredible. And on the flip side, you've got the O2C, or order to cash flow. This maps out your entire sales journey. It shows how Zoho Books and Zoho Inventory work together perfectly to manage an order all the way from creation to packing, shipping, delivery, invoicing, and finally getting that cash in your bank.
So, by setting up these core functions, you haven't just learned a piece of software. You've actually built a reliable engine for your business finances. This is the foundation you need for clear visibility and making decisions with confidence. You officially have the roadmap to get started. And honestly, the best way to really learn this stuff is to just jump in and do it. So what's it going to be? A new bill? Your very first sales invoice? What's the first transaction you're going to tackle?